What up? I'm back again. Drowning you guys with videos today. This is the last one for the weekend. ADS. This is something here that had an extremely crazy run in the past. And, then it had an insane crash. Well, this thing's starting to powerhouse back up. We are having breakouts upon breakouts upon breakouts. So as you see here, we had bearish divergence after we broke out. And I saw this, I missed the run. And I said, well, it's time for me to get back in here. Well, get in here in general. So when it crashed down, I was expecting it to come down and retest right here. But as we see where the 4-hour 20 EMA is, I decided I'm going to buy off of that. It came down to about $1.60.50. Came down to $60.50. So I actually placed my order right on this wick. And when I bought in there, this motherfucker shot right back up. I think it went to $1.06. Keep saying $1. Went up to $67. Like after I bought in, like seconds later, and I was like, oh shit! I guess I grabbed right where I was expecting it to bounce, and that was exactly what happened here. So as you see, we were trading in that giant pattern. We broke out, came back down, retested it for support. That was the confirmation, and it went on a massive run. And, I was a little worried that with that bearish divergence, it was going to come all the way back down to the 45.29. But I said, I'm going to take a nibble at this thing and put a stop loss below that channel that it was in. And it bounced, like I said. So we're making a little run back up. Now, is this thing going to continue running up like crazy like it did that first time? I don't know about that yet, but I do know that on the 4-hourly, we have a MACD cross coming in, probably on Monday. So I think it's going to continue to shoot up a little bit. See, on the daily here, it looked like it was going to start coming down and having a MACD cross negative. But we had a golden cross here, crossing this 100, and these 50 and the 200 are trying to come back up too, which is going to potentially shoot us up again. So this thing's looking really good. And Ethereum's going off right now. I just got an alert as we were talking about in the video that I had a price target of 478, and it looks like it just touched it right now. So yeah, I also on the daily saw that red TD9 flash, so I knew it was coming down. So I looked for a position, got my position perfectly, and we got a nice bounce. So a little indecision candle here, which could continue. Actually, it could be a trend reversal of that downwards action that we saw here. Now, what I'm watching for is a potential triple top here, and then maybe coming back down and retesting some of these moving averages depending on where they are. I don't think it's going to crash back down to 45 or anything like that, but we have to watch for that. But I'm going to keep an eye out for that when the time comes. Could come up and double top right there, come back down, retest that same, $63, $64 area or so, and then come back up. Obviously, this is where I'm going to put my trend line here so that I can kind of signal myself when it gets touching there and see how everything looks. And if we're touching there, getting resistance, maybe I might want to put a sell order in. I don't know. We'll see when it gets there. So that's why I'm just placing my trend line there. Let's take a look at the weekly. On the weekly, excuse me, we're getting a golden cross coming in. We're getting up there on the strength of this RSI, of course. So I want to look in the past and see, are we going to have a potential of coming up higher? I'm thinking, yeah, like if you see where the RSI came in the past, we've been able to come all the way up here. So we still have room to run on this weekly. And if we draw a trend line here, this works out perfectly, actually. This was the gigantic pattern that it broke out of. And it actually perfectly came back down and retested it. And I really wish I saw that thing happen, because I would have bought the shit out of it right there. But I still got in at a good spot, and I'm happy with it. But that was the retest right there that we had. Unbelievable. That's like the perfect bullish confirmation right there. If you were in on that, congratulations. That's huge. I mean, this stock was trading in the $300-$400 level. I think like 300. I forget the exact peak. So looking at the 45-minute, I mean, we have a little red TD9, so we could come back down a little bit. So if you didn't get in on this at the $60 level, I don't think it's going to come back down to 60. No way. But if we take a look at the hourly, maybe we can figure out, if you're not in on this, where would you buy if you wanted to get in on this on Monday? I'm thinking, if we look at this hourly 20 EMA, got a 64.30 area. Sometimes it's good to buy off of those type of supports, but there's other ways to figure it out as well. But we'll get into that in a few. I'm going to help try to find a position here. But look at this thing. This is crazy. This pattern it was in was huge. I mean, this thing could have a potential to make an inverse head and shoulders. This is huge speculation right now, but if this thing is actually trying to come back to where it was in its past history, I mean, it's going to need probably some more consolidation once it gets to wherever the peak ends up being of this here, because that RSI, I mean, yeah, we can come up higher, but not high enough to be in the $300 range. Definitely not. Not without it dropping back down and potentially retesting this level eventually. But we'll have to see how it all goes. I don't really hold stuff long term, but this might be one to hold long term. I'm not too sure. I don't even know the fundamentals on the thing. I just know I'm going to make a play on it over the next couple weeks, maybe even week or two. We'll see how this runs out. So as you see, we topped out recently at $70, and the 0.382 is at 58.60, which is where I wanted to buy originally, but I had to move my buy order up because of the RSI on the 1 hour was calling for a bounce. So the 0.236 is at 63.17. The 1 hour 20 EMA is at 64. You could probably grab yourself a share around the 63.17, 63.32 area. That would probably be a good spot for it to bounce. If you're not watching the RSI and everything and you're just thinking, I want to get in on this too, that wouldn't be a bad spot. Looking at the 4 hourly, let's see, 61.85 is the 4 hour 20 EMA there. So that's a possibility as well for it to come and try to make a W here before it runs up even higher. If we can break that 70.50 level, then it's really going to be off to the races. But that'll probably be a spot where it needs to consolidate. So down on the RSI, we bounced right around here. So I'm going to put this trend line here to, as a potential support later on if we need it. It's always good to have those lines there. So as you see on the 1 hour, we're above that line there, which is nice to see. Let's see. This is going to really... so I did that fib retracement there on the bigger time frame. Now I'm going to do a fib retracement on the smaller time frame to really see what's going on. Let's just try to, I can't even see my numbers right now because all the fucking green candles. Love to see it though. It was right about here. 68.07 was the point. 236. Okay. So going off of the 1 hour fib retracement here, your 0.618 is at that 64.21. 64.21, yeah. So anywhere between 63.17 and 64.21, I'm thinking 64.21 is probably going to be your buy zone. And that's what I would look for an entry price personally. So watch that RSI, watch for a double bottom. 64-21 is probably going to make that W, and we're going to continue on running up. All right, that's it for today. Take care.